Well, for the very latest, let's go to Washington. Our correspondent Philip Crowther is standing by. And Philip, the Democrats are really trying hard to get Mueller to say more about that obstruction charge today, aren't they?
Yeah, and he's largely refusing to do so. The now former special counsel Robert Mueller had already said in May that his report is his testimony. He doesn't want to go any further than that. 448 pages, some of them slightly redacted. He believes that should be good enough for every member of Congress and for every American to come to their own conclusions. Indeed, of course, Robert Mueller came to partly, at least, his very own conclusions. They were that there was no collusion between the president and the Russian government, but also that he had no really clear determination as to whether there was obstruction of justice and whether the president could be prosecuted. Of course, in the end, because he is president, he cannot be prosecuted or indicted. That is the view of the Justice Department and of the special counsel Robert Mueller. Democrats, though, and certainly the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, got one of those sound bites they really wanted from Robert Mueller earlier today. It is similar to what we read in the report. Here's the question from the chairman, Jerry Nadler. Did you actually totally exonerate the president? Robert Mueller's answer, no. That is something the Democrats will be playing again and again, because what it does, it goes contrary to what the president has been saying ever since the Mueller report was published, that he had been totally exonerated. According to the former special counsel Robert Mueller, this was not the case. Of course, the president has also repeatedly said that there was a conclusion of no collusion and no obstruction. Again, in the case of there being no collusion, that is true. In the case of there being no obstruction, that is not 100% true. So both Democrats and Republicans right now and into the afternoon here local time will be trying to find out what is written between the lines in Robert Mueller's report into Russian meddling in the presidential election, and Robert Mueller will largely refuse to read between the lines.
And we've heard from Republicans as well in that session, haven't we, Philip? One, I think it was John Ratcliffe from Texas, said that the fact Mueller failed to exonerate Trump means that the president is not entitled to enjoy the same presumption of innocence that all Americans do. So the Republicans are very much trying to come to Trump's aid and put the other side, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very much defending the president here and trying to go after Robert Mueller as much as they possibly can. What they want to prove is what they already believe in, is that this report was politically motivated and that there were too many Democrats on Robert Mueller's investigative team, for example. That is what they are trying to find out from this hearing. Those are the conclusions they are trying to come to, the same conclusions that the president, of course, has come to himself. Now, Robert Mueller, of course, is refusing largely to answer most of those questions. His most repeated answer is, I refer you back to the report, those 448 pages that he really wants to be the actual conclusion as to whether Russia meddled or not in the presidential election. The conclusion, of course, is that Russia did. And also, as you just heard from the opening statement from Robert Mueller, he believes that Russia will try to do the same thing again in 2020, and that is a very serious national security risk, according to the now former special counsel, Robert Mueller.
Philip Crowther, thank you very much.